Hello guys, this is Riya Deshwal. You're back on my channel Crux of English, and today we are going to talk about something that is very important and something students have been asking me a lot lately. I myself am teaching at a university, so I have first-hand experience with students who are preparing for UGC NET in December 2023, and this is my personal experience with students and myself as well. So I would suggest some do's and don'ts for you, some things that you can do to perform better, and some things that I think are very important for you to know, and you should know what parts of English literature and paper 1 as well you should focus on, because you have very less time. You have about 50 days, and 50 days to prepare for an exam is very less, but still I am going to give you the pointers which you can take into consideration and focus on them so that you can clear UGC NET within 50 days. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, let me just talk about the pattern ones so that we are on the same page, we're talking about the same thing. I think I know that there are 150 questions that come in the exam, 100 of paper 2 and 50 of paper 1, which consists of 300 marks, 2 marks per question. There is no negative marking. So first of all, the most important point is that I think you should never skip any question. You have plenty of time to attempt every question there is, and because there is no negative marking, it's my suggestion to you that please attempt all the questions there are, because there are no repercussions to not getting a question wrong. So you have the right, and this is the right thing to do every question. Okay, attempt every question, even if you don't know it. You make your guess and attempt that question, because even if you're guessing out of 10, I'm guessing 2 at least would get correct, and that is a huge percentage that you can get out of not knowing answers. Okay, and do the trick of elimination. I would suggest you look through the question and read the question again and again, read it thrice. And I know, because you have read about English literature, you have read about paper 1, I am sure that you would be able to guess that this is the question, this is the answer that cannot be, this is the option that cannot be. Use the elimination technique, use it wisely, and I am sure that out of 4 options, 2 of them you would definitely be able to eliminate, and as soon as you eliminate those 2 options, you have only 2 to choose from, which is a very good a very good percentage of getting something right. The probability is about 50%, which is huge. So use elimination technique in your exam and attempt all the questions. Now, talking about the percentage, with looking at since 2019, UGC NET hasn't really given you the English percentage of what is needed for you to clear the exam, but in my opinion it goes somewhere around 65 to 66% for JRF for general category, and 62 to 64 for NET for general category. It's just my opinion, just the people I've talked to. I myself cleared JRF in 2021, so it's been a while, but I have talked to a lot of students. I teach students and I've been talking to them, so this is usually the probability. So in my opinion, your aim for the paper should be somewhere around 198 marks, which is let's round it off and make it 200. So your aim for the paper should be 200 marks out of 300, which is good. It's not that much. You can do it. I am sure of it. If you would aim for 200, I am sure that you would be able to get JRF. And in my opinion, if someone is sitting for this paper, as much as they're looking for NET, they're looking for JRF as well. So in my opinion, to be on the safer side, aim for 200, and I am sure that you would be able to clear the exam, NET or JRF, whichever you want. So keeping that in mind, another thing that I want to focus on is that you should be very sure right now of what are your strong points at this point of time. You only have 50 days left, and you should be sure of what are the subjects, what are the topics in English literature and in paper 1 that are your strong points and that are your weak points. See, every person has a different opinion about it, every person has a different perspective, every person sees every text differently, which is why in my opinion you might have a different stronger point and I might have a different one. It comes from a background as well, you know, you belong to a certain background that changes you, and it changes your perspectives looking at things and how much you can grasp. So in my opinion, this is the time to just focus on your strong points. You know, pick the topics, pick the subjects that are your strong points and just focus on them, because you don't have a lot of time. Another thing that in my opinion is very important is, don't focus on completing the syllabus right now. Don't even think about it. You cannot complete the syllabus of UGC NET in 50 days. It's practically impossible. So just focus on what are your strong points. Just focus on the topics that have more weightage in the exam. Now, talking about the weightage, let's first talk about the weightage, and then I am going to give you a little bit of hint of what your timetable should look like if you are preparing for UGC NET and you only have 50 days. Okay, so talking about the weightage, let's talk about paper 2. We'll talk about paper 2 in this video, and then I'll make another video for paper 1 where we'll just talk about the topics that are coming in paper 1 and what topics are more important and what is the weightage like and what topics you should focus on more. So talking about paper 2, especially for English literature, British literature has the highest weightage. You know that, I know that, everyone knows that. So British literature has the highest amount of questions that are asked. The weightage is the highest. So you should, the primary focus of your study should be British literature. Even in British literature, I would suggest you personally, this is my personal experience, at the end point of when I was giving my exam of UGC NET, I myself also focused on modern and postmodern age, because today questions are asked mostly from modern and postmodern age. Even in British literature, the weightage of these two ages is way higher than the other ages. So it's very important for you to focus, in my opinion, it's very important to focus on those ages. But if you have problems with those ages, I would suggest you go and study what is stronger for you, what is your strong point, focus on that. So if other ages are what attracts you more, you are more focused on that, then go for it. But British literature is very, very important. You need to focus on British literature because it has the highest weightage of the subject of the paper. Now, coming next, the next weightage I would give is, I would keep literary theory and literary criticism on the same platform. So I think like looking at the papers recently, literary theory and literary criticism somewhere scores about separately 20 to 25 questions in every paper. So that is a huge chunk of questions that you can get right. And in my opinion, literary theory and literary criticism themselves are very short topics. They have very very limited amount of matter that you have to study. So these are very scoring topics and very short topics. Considering the amount of time that you have to study these topics, you should not leave at all. I know, in my opinion too, and the students that I talk to, these topics are a little bit more complicated, a little bit more difficult compared. So in my opinion, literary theory is the easiest topic if it comes to it, because if you it's just once that you have to understand this topic. But as soon as you understand this topic, it's practically so easy. I myself, when I was studying for UGC NET, I had real difficulty understanding literary theory. But once I got through it, once I studied every theory, and you should do it chronologically, in my opinion. If you're studying structuralism, then post-structuralism should come next to it. Don't study theories randomly, because usually a theory is the opposite of the other theory that came before. So in my opinion, you should always study even theories chronologically, so that you can understand them better, what structuralists said and what the post-structuralists said. Why is it post-structuralism? Why is it called that? Okay, so it's very important to study literary theory right now. And this is one of the topics topics that is very technical when it comes to English literature, and the thing with technical topics is either you get it right or you won't. But in my opinion, if you understand it once, it's practically so easy. So considering that and the amount of time that you have, and considering how short this topic is, you should definitely go for literary theory and literary criticism, because that would give you about 40 to 45 questions that would score you a very high score. Okay, other than that, in my opinion, cultural studies is also important, because cultural studies lately there are a lot of questions that have been asked from cultural studies, and I am sure that you would get 10 to 12 questions right if you do study cultural studies. And it is again a short topic. So British literature is a huge topic. You should definitely study British literature first, but after that, if you are done with British literature, in my opinion, go for literary theory, literary criticism and cultural studies, because these three would give you the push that you need to clear UGC NET or JRF. Okay, this is very, very important. So in my opinion, these are the 4 topics that you should focus on the next 50 days. Now there are certain things that I want to tell you. So in my opinion, if you have 50 days, then if you study about 8 hours every day, and that's not a lot considering how much time you have left. So if you study 8 hours every day and you have 50 days, then that makes 400 hours. So you have 400 hours to work on yourself for your paper. In my opinion, if you are studying 8 hours every day, I'm not saying everyone can, because some of you would be working as well, so it's not possible for everyone, but try to make it 8 hours. And if you are studying 8 hours, in my opinion, 8 should be divided into 3 parts. 2 hours you should focus on paper 1, 2 hours you should definitely focus on revision, and 4 you should give to paper 2. Now in revision, see, revision is the most important thing for you right now. Whatever you have studied, it's very important for you to revise it. So revision is should be the most important thing. It should be your top priority right now. So focus on revision, and I am sure you would have made notes by now. If you have been preparing for UGC NET, you must have made your notes, and if you have your notes, your handwritten notes, which are very, very important in my opinion, handwritten notes are what makes you climb to the top. See, every person, every single person that you encounter in this exam is studying the same books. They're all studying William J. Long, they're all studying David Deutsch. You are doing the same thing that they are. So what is going to put you on the top is your revision, your handwritten notes, how you have prepared those notes. Now, so focusing on that, you should give 2 hours to paper 1, because paper 1 is also very important. See, most of the students that I've talked to, they don't consider paper 1 as important, and they don't focus on it, and they don't study it, because of which at the end what happens is they score a very high score in paper 2, and they don't score high enough in paper 1, which disbalances their score, and they cannot clear the exam, which is so bad, because paper 1 is comparatively way easier than paper 2. Okay, so you should focus on paper 1 as well. If you're giving 4 hours to paper 2, give 2 to paper 1 as well. Whatever time you're giving to paper 2, I would suggest give half of that time to paper 1 as well, because it is half the amount of marks that you have for paper 2. If you have 200 marks for paper 2, you have 100 marks for paper 1 as well. So please focus on that as well. Other than that, yes, in my opinion, you should focus on trusted sources by now. Don't go haphazardly, searching on YouTube, studying a particular topic. If there is a particular person on YouTube, if there is a particular tutor on YouTube that you trust, go for them, study them. I'm not saying just go for me, because I teach myself as well on YouTube. I am not saying that if you don't trust me right now, don't go for me. What is important for you is to rely on a trusted source right now. And please only focus on one source. Don't go studying the same topic from multiple people, because that is just going to destroy your preparation, because you have such a less amount of time. It is time to focus on one trusted source. If you don't trust anyone on YouTube, if there are no trusted sources that you have, then please just focus on your books. Focus on your books, and they would give you enough of what you need. See, we as tutors, we are not teaching you anything new. Everything that we are teaching you, any tutor on YouTube, I'm saying, is just reading those books. They're studying those books and then teaching you. So in my opinion, if you don't trust any source, if you have a trusted source, if you have a trusted tutor, go for them, but only one. But if you don't have any trusted source, go for the books. They are perfectly good. Other than that, in my opinion, at this point of time, you should focus on easier books. If there is a book that you don't understand, if there's a book जिसकी language आपको समझ में नहीं आ रही है, just leave it, because you don't have time to read it again and again. If you are studying Peter Berry and you cannot understand what he's saying, just leave it. If you're studying David Deutsch's and the language is pretty difficult and you cannot understand it, just leave it. It's okay. Go for things that you do understand, that you have already studied once. Go for them and revise them again and again, because revision is what is going to put you on the top of the other candidates. Other than that, make your notes, shorter notes that you can revise in the last 10 days of your exam. Make really short notes of every writer, so that you can just go through them, skim through them when you are really near your exam, 10 days, 15 days before. Okay, so in my opinion, what you should do is make notes about their really important facts about their biography. Make notes of the important texts, which are the important texts, and detailed notes of those important texts, the stories and when it was published and what is the chronology and everything like that. But the texts that are not that important according to UGC NET, please just remember the names of those texts, and remember what in a very short summary what happened. Okay, don't go deep into it, because you don't have the time to do that right now. Other than that, in my opinion, there is no need for crash courses. Crash courses only give you a haphazard way of going through things, which only, if you see, the most important thing for you right now is to know what you know and have the confidence in that. But when you go for a crash course and you get all these, see, it has the word crash in it, right? So you are crashing. So every information and every knowledge there is out there about English literature or paper one, it would be crashed on you. And if it would be crashed on you, at the end of it, you would have so much to do, and you would be you would be lost in it. You would be lost in the sea of knowledge there is, which is not the right thing to do right now. Okay, so rather focus on the things that you've already studied. Focus on the things that are important, that have the more weightage. Don't go for crash courses, in my opinion. But as a personal choice, if you feel that that's something that you do want to do, go for it. See, at the end of the day, it's your choice, it's your opinion of what is best suited for you. You need to do what's best suited for you. I did what was best suited for me. For me, crash courses are not something that I think are very productive to your study, so don't go for that. Even if you're going for coaching, in my opinion, you should always go coaching for all round courses, like the yearly courses, because when you do the yearly courses, you get the amount of knowledge that you get over a certain amount of time, over a certain amount of period. But when you go for crash courses, everything is just crashed on you, and you don't have enough of the brain capacity to grasp all of it, and then you get flustered with all the knowledge that you have, with all the information that you're getting, which is destructive to your own psychology, your own brain power, and ultimately it will be destructive to your strategy of preparing for UGC NET. Okay, other than that, You should definitely, if you have prepared or you are not prepared, go for mock tests. Any mock test that suits you. I myself gave mock tests as well. So for paper one, I would just suggest you go to textbook and purchase the membership for the year and do the textbook paper one mock test. It's very important for you to do mock test because it will get you to understand what are the topics that you have understood and what are the topics that you're not able to attempt the questions from, so that you can revise the topics that you want, that you have not been able to attempt questions from, and it will give you a good perspective of what your percentage is going to be. Yes, there would be repetition in a lot of mock tests, there always is, but again, it is very important for you to get in that mindset of giving the exam, get in the mindset of attempting questions. When you attempt questions regularly on everyday basis, you are reading the question, you are doing the questions, and you are eliminating your answers, which gives you a good idea of what your paper mindset should be, what that day should look like for you. Okay, so separately, lock yourself in a room and do a paper in one go. Every day do a paper in one go, so that you get in that mindset of giving that exam. Okay, it's very important for you. Other than that, please be focused. Be very focused right now, because you have very short amount of time. Be very focused. But when I'm saying be focused, I am not saying don't go out, don't talk to your friends, or celebrate. There are festivals coming, it's Navratri, happy Navratri. So I'm not saying don't do that. I'm not saying don't celebrate festivals. You have Diwali coming as well. Do that. It's very important. I personally have this story. I have a friend who gave UPSC, and I had a personal discussion with her, and I did ask her what it is like and what did you do to strategize. And she was like, I would study 6 days every week. I would study 6 days. I would give everything I have to those 6 days. But after that 6th day, the 7th day, I would go out and party with my friends. I would go out, hang out with my friends, go on a coffee, whatever suits me. I do that. I spend time with my family on the 7th day, but I always take time out. See, even Elon Musk and every person, every CEO there is out there who has performed very well in their life, they all talk about it. You after a point of time, you have your burnout. It's very important for you to take breaks and do the things that are happening out there in the world. You cannot separate yourself from the world, and if you cannot, I would say, indulge in it when it is out there. Take your breaks and enjoy your life as well, because if you would be crazy focused on your exam, it's just going to get you scared about your exam, which is not good for your mental health or your exam preparation as well. So be focused. When you're studying, study. Be focused then. If you're studying 8 hours a day, give 8 hours a day every day to it. Make a plan, stick to that plan, stick to that timetable, give 8 hours to it. I am assuring you 8 hours is more than enough. But after that 8th hour, go out with your friends, spend time with your family. It's very important for you to do that as well, to take breaks as well. Okay, in my opinion, this is all I wanted to tell you about clearing UGC NET exam 2023 in December. And I'm sure if you focus on all these things, you can score a very good amount of marks in paper 2. For paper 1, we'll talk again. In paper 1, I have told you the important topics are British literature, cultural studies, literary theory, and literary criticism. Focus on them. And paper 2, we'll talk in another video. Paper 1, sorry. Okay. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.